what I'm talking about here. So, Roll20.com. This is the website and the app that I'll be putting the artwork up on when it's completed. Right now, we're in pretty early stages of working on the tiles, but what we have going so far is these guys. So right here, you can see these are kind of the modular tiles, and the checkerboard represents the positions that the enemies, players, objects, whatever, could actually be on. And then walls represent the area you cannot walk on. All of these can be rotated, slapped into place, and will link up with a corresponding tile. There's quite a few of them, and the hardest part is just making the tiles work together, coming up with that template. So basically, that's what you see here is all the tiles laid out as to how they could snap together. And I'm at the point now where I'm concepting what those tiles' final versions will look like. And this is the fun part. The hard stuff is mostly out of the way. So now we're just going to be creating the monsters, creating the content that goes in these tiles that we've already set up. So we got some weird ectoplasmic ghost type things. We got our crypt with the catacombs, or what do you call those? I don't know what you call those. This is heavily inspired by Zelda as far as the art style goes, and I've kind of mixed it with the Pathfinder tile sets as far as size and distance goes. Each of these squares represents 5 feet, so we got, this is kind of the set piece up here where the boss battle would be, and I plan on having a unique tile for this, but right now, just working with the base template. So I basically grabbed a bunch of my art that I thought might work well with this. So as you can see over here, got the werewolf, got the skull. This is kind of like a demon portal. I was thinking maybe this could summon monsters, or it could have like possessed swords that swirl around it to attack. What else? We got our demon overlord up here. Let's see here. What else do we have? Demon Overlord, we got the pillars, the throne, lantern, torches, windows, little bat, rat type thing. The tricky thing was figuring out the doors, how to make those work. I think these are going to work pretty well. The arrows kind of indicate this is a passage, and it's kind of baked into the piece. Kind of a fat monster going on there, similar to the Demon Overlord. I'm thinking he's going to be more fantasy looking and less tech looking. This is a Doom monster that I did in a different video. I thought he might work as a cool boss, so I'm going to change him up to work with the tiles. Here's some early bat versions. Inked one here. I was thinking this was initially a Viking. I was thinking it could work as a dwarf, like a fighter style character. Some banners, treasure chest, lever. What else we got? The alchemy table, blood splatter. This would be like a floating skull, like Medusa head, kind of like what you see in Castlevania. And then Got our different keys, kind of like the boss key, standard key, chasm that could be placed to block your path. We got some rock debris over here, dusty tome, torches for the walls, bags of grain, storage containers. Then we got some tile that's kind of experimenting with, because the tile set basically has to work any direction that you flip it. So as far as what's on the ground, on the flat ground, it needs to be able to rotate any of the cardinal directions and be able to work. Whereas the enemies, the props, most of those things I think you would want to keep oriented the direction they're facing, kind of the Zelda template. And then anything that's attached to the wall pretty much is straight north and south or east and west. I don't really stick to the perspective that the corners have, and that's the way Zelda does it, and it seems to work. So I think in the end it should be pretty modular. So I just kind of want to ink a few things, just kind of get into the flow and come up with some things that might go in here. I'm going to keep just staying in the concept phase. I don't want to finalize anything yet. That will probably be a later video, but in the end, this will have a dungeon tile set that you would be able to lay out in any order. I took those tiles that I showed you before and made this basic level. And then there'll be a pack that has all the props that you can place, which would consist of the spikes, the holes, the lanterns, torches, whatever you might decorate your tiles with. Additional set would then be what the monsters are, things that I think are applicable to this tile set. And I think the standard is like 25 monsters per set, so I got a little ways to go there. And then something that represents the characters that would be going through the dungeon. So the person we have here being the dwarf. And we'll stick to the your classics of the dwarf, the fighter, the thief, the archer, basic fantasy stuff. Oh, we got the rugs too to break up the tile set on the ground. And yeah, that's it. So let's just let's grab the werewolf head. No, let's start with the demon gate. Kind of want to see where this goes. So we'll grab this guy here. And that should be fine. Bring him on in here. So I kind of want a base reference for the tile set that we got going. So we're going to make some perfect squares to represent those tiles that we have on the ground. And we'll just grab a darker purpley color. Slap these guys on a new layer. Darken this guy a little bit to distinguish the two two shapes. There we go. So basically, with the Zelda rule, it kind of breaks down where if there's a tile and something is meant to look like it has perspective or height to it, it can overlap the next tile, but it usually doesn't break the midway point of the tile above it. So right about there looks good. Now, the way I'm looking at this is bottom tile, top tile, middle area represents kind of where this guy would stand. So if he were to actually be in there, need more perspective, he would sit in something like that to make it look like he was on the tile below. Like he's in this tile, dark purple tile, pointing at the screen like you can see exactly what I'm pointing at. But he's in this tile, and he can take up this much space in the tile above. That's what this guy represents. So we're just going to draw or ink him just on the straight on perspective as he is right now. And then we'll apply the perspective afterwards and just clean it up to make it fit into the perspective we have the other objects set in. So enough of me babbling. Let's just start doing something. Alright, just adding some information here to the stream. Should have gotten this done sooner, but doing it as I go. So this is who you're listening to, War Brides. And I'm going to put their information in the stream. Almost there. There we go. Alright. Took longer than I thought it would. Sorry about that. Alright, back to what we were doing. I don't think there's anyone in here, so I don't think that's a big deal. But here's the guy we're gonna ink. This is the Demon Portal. Set that back to 100%. Demon Gate. So we'll just lower the opacity on this guy. Make it look like it's sunk in there. If anyone is out there and has a question as to a way I'm doing something or a technique, feel free to throw a question up in the stream. I will be more than happy to answer it. Ugh, that was not a straight line. Bad start. Straight lines, not an artist's friend. That eyeball in there. So this is kind of supposed to look organic, but still stone at the same time. It's kind of going to have a portal in the mouth with a glow about it. Almost like a gravestone. Ah. Chip in the side there. Another little nick in the corner. Alright, so weren't so clear to see before, but over here, hanging off of it was kind of some skulls and bones and stuff. So let's add that back in. Ghost Bandit. Alright. Not what I wanted. Lasso tool. There we go. Alright. Let's just do this. So if the rope were to hang down like that. Actually, that could work right there. Okay. Basically want it to look like it's hanging off that. I don't know why that took me so long. We'll clean up the lines that overlap eventually, but we're not worrying about that right now. Everything's on different layers, so I'm drawing on the rope on top, so I can go back and erase color underneath, and basically non-destructive. That is the way to go. Give this some depth. Actually, that's not part of the mouth. Inside, that's the outside. Alright. Alright, so there's our line art. Oh, I hate the pixel grid. It's the worst. Show pixel grid off. That base I might have drawn a little too thick. There. You know what? Let's not worry about these yet. We can draw those easily with perspective. So I'm just going to take this whole group here that we just made, put in a new layer. So now, all here. I think we all know that's the demon gate now, so get rid of that. What I usually do, I'll make a layer of everything I want to have in that character. And call it layered. This one, you keep. Layered. Can't spell. Then make an additional copy. Flatten it. And then turn off the layered one so I can always go back if I did something wrong. But first we're going to clean up some of these lines before we flatten. So we want to go bottom layer with the skull. Get rid of these. Anything that's under the rope, basically. Equalize the bone. He's on his own layer, but we'll merge that down for this. And then with the gate, horn, you want to see this if the rope is actually going there. And there we go. So let's go ahead and put the perspective on this guy. We're going to merge those layers, Control E, be in the hotkey. Grab on over here, turn on our reference. We'll keep the layered one up over here, just so we can see where we were, what we did. So let's clean this up a little bit. So we have it's the original we brought in. We have line art, and next we're going to do the perspective version. Again, that needs to fit into this dungeon concept that we have going here. So for reference, let's just grab all of this, drop it in here, slide it up in the corner. Alright, so now we know, we have a reference to see kind of if the perspective we're setting on this fits with the perspective that we kind of have going in here. And if you want to make yourself happy later, be good about naming your layers. I tend to be horrible at that. So, call this Demon Gate Perspective. And lower the opacity. Actually, take all these ground tiles, put them in their own group, so we can adjust the opacity. Well, there we go. So we want this guy to pretty much fit in here, or in our space. It's right about here. Doesn't have to be perfect, but roundabout. So what I'm going to do is move the pivot to right about the middle of him. And pull him down. And then to give the perspective coming upwards, I'm going to grab the top left corner and hold Control and drag out. And keep that a straight line. And do the same thing on the other side. And you can see it starts to pop it up off the ground. There he is. So initially there's front on, now we got a nice angle to it. And I bet this would work as is over here. Yeah. That'll work. So now that we have basic perspective looking down at it, we need the depth going back. So to start, I'm just going to duplicate and slide them back. I think this is going to work. Yeah. So now you can kind of see where the depth would go with him if I were to connect this line. Draw another one back right here. Now he looks like he has a head, a top to the head. And we can do things like get rid of these edges here and draw a little curvature. So it looks like these horns actually have depth going into the background there, as opposed to being flush with the front face. Yeah, I think that works. Let's turn off our background here. And now you can see he has a top, he has perspective, and he fits with the rest of our tile set. Now these tiles, I'm not worrying a lot about maximum super high resolutions because these are really small tiles. It's a really small tile set. Like I said, a monster is going to fit into each of these tiles, and I forgot how many wide they are. I think it's 70 by 70. There we go. Slight angle. Yeah, that works. So now on to color. I'm going to keep that separate and make a new folder. And within this folder will be color layers. Let's call it just that, color layers, demon perspective up top. And we'll basically color underneath that layer. So start with our base color. It's just going to be essentially stone. So I'll grab a middle range gray and just fill in what we did. There we go. All right. So let's do the eyeball. Do glowing yellowy orange. It's like a jack-o'-lantern. So I'm going to start with the darker color, orange. It's kind of the base. And then we're going to go add the yellow to a new layer, kind of right in the middle here. And then let the blur take care of the rest. We'll do a Gaussian blur. Control J, duplicate that layer until it gets to around about where I like it. Merge them down. Go ahead and clean up any spillage that happened there. There we go. Now, if this was, if this eye had curvature to it, if it's sitting at the way it's oriented, really, this eye is like that, right? There's depth to it. It's not just flat in its forehead. So we want to show that. The easiest way to do that is the shadow and highlight. So what we're going to do is add shadow underneath on the actual eyeball. And we're doing full black right now, but now we'll set it to a multiply. I just did that on the wrong layer. New layer. Okay, let's do that again. There is our shadow. Now we set that to a multiply. And we decrease the opacity. And get a little shadow going. And we can come in with our eraser, blend that guy in. And for the top, we'll make it lighter. And really the thing that sells eyeballs is just popping the highlight on there with the right over the pupil. We actually want this to go above the line art, so it goes over the pupil, the line art of it. And you can add some additional highlights in there just to make it look really watery. Play around with different shapes and do things like just a line, curve, kind of tracing around. And do things like triangles over it. That's probably too much for him. But we'll get rid of these. Now for the inside of the mouth. Alright, we're going to take a super quick break. Been going for about an hour now. Haven't gotten a whole lot done. Hopefully we can speed this process up when we get back. But be right back.
Why
And we're back. All right. Where were we? So we got our base color down, got the eyeball started, and let's add the glow on the inside. Creepy green color. Something about there. Give it some highlights. Some darker areas. And I kind of want to make it look like there's a flatter area going back this way into the back of the mouth. So we'll grab maybe a lighter version of the green. I don't know if that's going to work. So kind of working. Yeah. Cool. Okay. My arm keeps hitting the buttons on the tablet. Let's add some overall shadow to the statue. Portal, whatever we're going to call it in the end. Demon Gate. Slightly darker. Pick some areas that would need to pop out a bit. Mouth is curved outwards. Some shadow coming down from the horns. It's kind of a generic light source. Just because it needs to be modular, it needs to work in any direction. Again, because this is going on a tile set. Here's all our tiles, in case there's anyone new out there. These need to work any direction, and the props that are set in them kind of need to have a generic lighting and perspective, though I'm kicking back all shadows at this angle, so they're all consistent. And again, here's our proxy dungeon with just concept laid over it that we're kind of building up right now, picking our parts and bringing them to completion. Right now we're working on the demon gate that the overlord can have behind him to summon all of his minions and monsters, and the hero is going to have to get up there and close it. So back to our shadows. Um, shadow there. And let's see, the shadow's going to be going back that way. So I'll give a little shadow up here. A little bit on the corners of the teeth. And then let's do, if our light source is coming this way, we'll put a little underneath the horns and on the part that's kind of curved up. This isn't necessarily what's right, but what looks right for this set. And then that eye has curvature, so it'd probably be casting a bit of a shadow below, underneath the folds. Make it look like it's recessed back in there, pops out. There we go. And we'll just add some brown for the rope. And let's see, for the bones, we don't want them to be perfect white, but we want to be light. This is a little dark. I'm going to lighten it up when I'm done, but I just want to be able to see what I'm doing. It's kind of hard to paint white on white. There we go. And let's lighten that. Control U is that hotkey. And something about there. And we'll take that color we just had and we'll fill in the eye sockets with that. And you know what? We might have to go darker. And the nose. We're going to go darker. Even darker. There. Yeah. Cool. All right, so we'll do one more pass on the actual statue portion of it, and we're going to give it the highlight. We'll lighten up this whole side. And top of the eyelid would be sticking out, protruding a little, so that would get highlight, as well as some of these teeth areas, as well as the teeth at the bottom be getting hit with highlight. And then any edge, any hard corner always looks nice with the highlight on it, especially on shiny things like gold, but still applies to something with not a lot of reflectivity, something that's rough like this. Pop the edges out on the chips. And Even this edge on shadow would pop out nice. There we go. And this inner side. Now we can mix it up a little on the layers, or on top of the layers. The darker shade of gray, set it to a multiply. Then pick some areas to have cracks. So we have one wrap around the horn, like that. A little piece breaking off. And then off of one of these cracks, maybe there's something. Off one of the chips, there's a crack coming down. Another one over here. These are very small details, but still looks cool. One more up here. Kind of goes back and over. Now I'll grab a highlight to really pop that out. Run it right along that same crack we just drew. There we go. All right, so there's one little spot bugging me. Never going to see this, but that bothered me. And there. Okay. So now we can give it a little cast shadow to solidify it on the ground. So we'll grab all the layers that we have. Put them in a new one, new group. Call this Demon Gate Master. Demon Gate Master, that sounds cool. Okay, so there's everything. Now we can duplicate this, merge it, Control U, bring the lightness all the way down so it's black. That is our cast shadow. Then we can shift it back down, shift it over. Something about there for starters. And if we want to get fancy, we can add a mask to that layer and grab a gradient. Pull that gradient back towards it. That's the wrong way. Out this way. No, back this way. That looks better. And then lower the opacity. There we go. Bring it up so it's even. I don't think we need these anymore. Looks like that's still in the shadow, so we'll get rid of that. Isn't it? Yeah. Oh, we're drawing on the... Okay. Right there. So now we can give this kind of a ambient glow. Can't see it right now, but my dog is right here chewing on a bone, very loud. All right, so I'll grab the same color that's here. We'll just put a splash of that color. New layer. There we go. Put a splash of that color down. It's in that general shape of the mouth. I'll add a blur. That's kind of blowing out the color. That's not what I wanted. Well, kind of works. Let's go ahead and grab our background and darken it just a little bit so we can see this. Something closer to what the dungeon tiles will look like. So that's not so bad. Yeah, that works. And then we'll do the same thing for the eyeball to make it look like it has ambient glow to it as well. So sample that yellow, grab a brush, draw a little bit right in the middle there. Then we're going to blur. Initially it's not going to show, but when we duplicate this layer, hopefully it does. What do we do there? Ooh, that did not work so well. Let's try this again. New layer, add our yellow. Filter, blur. Subtle, but it's there. Now, then grab this green, kind of paint some of this light like it's bouncing off some of the front of it. So maybe it's getting picked up on the teeth here. On this edge. Top teeth be getting some. What might look cool is if did a new layer, trace the teeth here. Am I doing this right? Yeah, that's what we wanted. And then giving it a little perspective. I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll try it. So this is supposed to look like it's glowing and hitting the ground in front of it. How's it going? So hopefully this looks like ambient light in the end here. Lower the opacity a little. And then, thanks. Oop, did that backwards. So we want this to go that way. Maybe a little bit further down. There we go. Yeah, that works. So I'm designing a modular dungeon set. Basically all these tiles to be interchangeable and work together, kind of like in a Zelda dungeon style. And I'm creating all the monsters, all the characters that would go through it, because this would be used on a website like, if you've heard of Roll20, let's go there right now. Roll20, it's a D&D basically, and people can use tile sets, monsters, and characters that you create to host games, and artists can put their artwork up on this website. So I'm currently making a tile set, some monsters, and some heroes that would be available on that store. So far I've started the tile set, which you can see here, and I took that tile set and kind of made a sample dungeon just to get an idea of how well that's going to work. And now I'm doing some sketches and doodles, figuring out what props, what monsters, what the heroes are going to look like. Kind of taking D&D, fusing it with Zelda, and then adding a little bit of my art style in it, and hope that it'll kind of stand out on the store. So I'll give you a little tour of what I have going so far. These are some little monster bats. This is an older character I just doodled a while ago that I thought would work for this set. This could kind of be the hero character, or one of the hero characters, like a dwarf. Some skulls, werewolf type monster that could be something. There's a demon gate. And then we got this is kind of the in-game piece up here that would be the throne room with the big horned king monster that I'm working on as well. So basically the pack I'm going to do will have like 25 monsters in it, all the modular tiles, and then all the props to place on those modular tiles to basically build your own dungeon and host your own game. So yeah, just been kind of batching together all kinds of little ideas, playing Diablo and other games like that, coming up with props that would be in that environment, and then kind of setting it to the Zelda template of perspective, because that would work for this tile set, being able to rotate it in any direction. So this here is kind of what I'm calling the demon gate. I think the average that you sell the packs for on there is $5, and that $5 pack gets you a whole dungeon tile set, gets you all the monsters and all the characters. Thank you, Zordlax. New to the streaming thing, so hopefully you come back. And there you are. Look at that. Thanks for the follow. But Sunday nights, I'm going to be doing the drawing. Part of the day, I'll be working on my own concepts, my own ideas, my own monsters, whatever it might be. And then the second half of this session, I'll be doing requests. So you guys tell me what type of monster you want to see. Can't find an artist? What do you mean you can't find an artist? Okay, tell me a story.